Cory Joseph, you are headed to the Indiana Pacers. The Golden State Warriors did trade Cory Joseph literally at the buzzer of the NBA trade deadline in return for a 2024 second-round pick from the Indiana Pacers. Now, I'm over here thinking Mike Dunleavy's not going to make a single move. They're not going to trade anybody. And then, boom, Shams Charania does come out with a tweet at 2:03 p.m. Central Time, which is 3 minutes after the deadline was over, saying the Warriors are trading Cory Joseph to the Pacers. However, I was expecting more to come out of this. Like, I was waiting for a follow-up tweet or maybe something else on top of it. And then nothing. Just Cory Joseph headed to the Pacers. And if you guys are like me, I'm more of a visual learner. So when I like to hear a trade, I like to really break it down. So that's what we're going to do here. Cory Joseph, a 30-plus-year-old guard, and cash considerations are headed to Indiana, who are competitors this year in the Eastern Conference. Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner. Hopefully Cory Joseph can find his rhythm with the rotation of the Indiana Pacers. But here's where I get confused. There were a lot of needs for the Warriors heading into the trade deadline. A 2024 second-round pick was probably not my first priority. Maybe Mike Dunleavy has some plan he's working on that we're not sure of just yet, but this still does not address defensive assets, any kind of bench help, or a secondary score. But nonetheless, my one-word reaction to Cory Joseph trade was, humph. However you spell that. HMM. Interesting. I guess should be another word for that. What do you guys say about this Cory Joseph trade? I just wasn't blown away by this. I really thought Dunleavy was going to make something that was going to push the needle for the Warriors by the deadline because now you have to really resort to the buyout market, and the Warriors do need just a little bit of help. It's okay to say whether they're good or bad, but nonetheless, go on ahead and comment your one-word reaction to the Cory Joseph trade. If you guys are ever looking for a one-stop source for everything Golden State Warriors, this is the place to be. Go on ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Breaking news, trade rumors, Warriors news, injury news, anything you guys want, you can have for free by hitting that sub button. So I'm going to break down the rest of the Cory Joseph trade. I'm also going to grade the overall Warriors trade deadline moves just a second. But first, let's talk about the sponsor here on Warriors Today. That is Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America right now. I'm playing it every single game day, and you guys should be too. All you have to do is go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. When you get there, just pick between 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less on their projected stats, and you can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. I actually just went on ahead and went to Prize Picks, hit their NBA tab, but they have numerous sports and collegiate and professional athletes you can choose from. But these are 3 of the most popular picks in America right now. Kobe White to have more than 11 points and rebounds and assists. Pascal Siakam to have more than 22.5 points. And our very own Jonathan Kuminga to have more than 2.5 assists. These are my Prize Picks, but I want to see yours. All you guys have to do is go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100, and you get to watch yourself win some real money in real time. Although Mike Dunleavy only decided to make one trade, and that was Cory Joseph to the Pacers, there were still a lot of things up in the air heading in to this trade deadline. But nonetheless, Cory Joseph was a 2.5 points per game player. He only played 26 games, 1.2 rebounds, 35% from the field, which is atrocious, 31% from the three-point line, which is even more atrocious. I mean, obviously, Cory Joseph isn't pushing the needle for the Warriors, and he's definitely a bench player, fills in the rotation here. But like I said, along with a Chris Paul injury, Brandon Podziemski really stepped up in his absence, so you really don't necessarily need Cory Joseph anymore. But Anthony Slater broke it down just a little bit more here, saying the Warriors received a 2024 second-rounder in the Cory Joseph trade. Per sources, so they'll have a pick in the upcoming draft, which is great. You guys see how well Podziemski and Trayce Jackson-Davis has worked out for the Warriors so far. They sent some cash to the Pacers as well. No other trade deadline moves, which means the core, which you all know what core I'm talking about, remains intact. Going ahead and grade the Warriors' moves at the NBA trade deadline. Going ahead and rate it A, B, C, D, or F. Overall, talking about the Cory Joseph trade, I'm going to give this a C minus. I just don't understand it. I don't see the purpose in this, not even accepting another bench player for a bench player. They were saying they were looking for a player for player trade. So go ahead and comment your grades down below while I break down what happened for the Golden State Warriors trade deadline, and I'll give you my grade at the end. So trade takeaways: Cory Joseph was traded for a second-round pick. Wiggins, Thompson, and Chris Paul are all safe. These were all the top 3 trade rumors going around the Golden State Warriors for numerous months. And then Kerr said last night after they destroyed the Philadelphia 76ers that he has faith in all of the Warriors currently on the roster. Well, there were a lot of names here on the chopping block heading into today's deadline. Andrew Wiggins was number 1. Chris Paul, Klay Thompson, Moses Moody I thought was going to be moved to get some kind of talent, some win-now talent at $4 million a year. I thought at least he'd be packaged along with Andrew Wiggins. And Kevon Looney was the latest trade chip that was mentioned to be moved during this deadline. But nonetheless, those are all huge salaries. Cory Joseph is only $2 million a year. So essentially, you paid $2 million and some change to get a second-round draft pick. And yes, that does help your future. Maybe this means Dunleavy is leaning towards building off of the younger guys than leaning on the older core of Curry, Thompson, and Draymond. But this isn't going to help you this season. A 2024 second-round draft pick will not do anything for the Warriors this year. So unless they go to the buyout market, Mike Dunleavy, you are stuck with the Warriors you have this season. Can they pull it out has yet to be seen. But it doesn't mean the Warriors didn't try to make any moves. They actually did try to make a move with a very good contender right now in the Eastern Conference. They tried to trade for Alex Caruso and Bojan Bogdanovic before he was sent to the New York Knicks. He was with the Detroit Pistons. Alex Caruso remains to be seen with the Chicago Bulls. You want to know why that trade didn't work out? Because the psychos in Chicago wanted Jonathan Kuminga for Alex Caruso. Get out of here. I said it in nice terms down below. Warriors rightfully passed. Thank you, Mike Dunleavy, for not trading away Jonathan Kuminga for Alex Caruso, because my head would have exploded. He is going to be the face of the franchise in a couple of years. You can mark my words, when Curry is done, Kuminga has a long career ahead of him, so I'm really glad Dunleavy kept him. So they did try to obtain other win-now talent, but it just didn't work out. So overall, the fact that you tried to make a trade happen didn't work. You ended up making a trade 3 minutes after the deadline passed, and it was for a second-round pick. I give it a C minus. The Warriors are the exact same, minus Cory Joseph, who has only played 26 games so far this season. They're the same. They remain 11th in the Western Conference. Nothing will change moving forward. So Steve Kerr and Mike Dunleavy, if you believe in the Warriors right now, which you have every right to, there is definitely talent to win now on your team. Well, you have made your bed. Now let's see what happens. Should the Warriors have made another trade this season? Should they have made another trade by the deadline? Go on ahead and let me know if you thought Cory Joseph was all they needed to do, or if you wanted to see Wiggins or CP3 or Klay Thompson head on out of there. Go ahead and comment that down below. And like I said, hit that sub button. Breaking news, trade rumors, injury news, we have it all right here. Do not be that Warriors fan that has no idea what's going on with the Dubs. Go on ahead, hit that sub button.